Hey you guys, I'm Taylor. Welcome back to We Aim to Slay. And guess what? Clean girl makeup is dead. So let me show you how I did this. So after I was absolutely humbled by Alphaba back in October, my mom lent me an extensive face painting kit plus a bunch of add-on products so that I can try again with a little bit more prep and forewarning. I really like blue, so she gave me a ton of different blues, and that's what we're gonna try to do. I guess I'm gonna be blue. Dabu dee dabu die. I really like this, but it's kind of dark, so I don't know if I'm not gonna use that as my base. I'm gonna use something kind of in the medium as my base shade. I think I want to use this. It's kind of like a sky blue. I think I'm gonna use a brush and not a sponge. So the thing that I learned last time is that you don't necessarily want anything to be too wet. You don't want your paint, which these are called cakes, to be too wet. You don't want your brush and or sponge to be too wet. Ooh, I really like that color. One of the mistakes I made with Alphaba is that I didn't paint my eyes because I was like, I'm gonna use makeup, and that was a mistake because I couldn't color match and balance the way I like to because not everything was the same color. I guess I'm gonna paint my ears too. I do want to do this for real. I guess. Okay, honestly, I'm gonna take a wee break and then I will come back when I've actually painted it as a base because I don't have a ton of powdery to work with right now and I'm stupid. Also, you guys watched me blend paint on myself for an hour in October. I'm not going to do that to you again. As my sister pointed out, she doesn't even watch my long videos. Shout out to you, Shelby. Anywho, I'll be right back. Okay, it took some time, but I got my torso and the tops of my arms, those little sections of my back that I can reach, and most of my face. I'm definitely going to go do another layer on my chest and stuff because it's not very even, but I think I got my face mostly even enough to start doing other stuff as well. You can set this with powder, but I don't have powder I'm willing to use. Yes, I do have powder that I'm willing to use for this project. The empty container! And I found a puff! It's a small puff, so it's going to take some time, but look at that. Oh my god, look at me. Okay, I think I'm gonna set my face really quick because it actually came out pretty good. Alright, I'm not gonna think about it too much because then I'm gonna stress myself out. So I'm gonna take a sponge that's kind of like that and on a stick, and I'm gonna grab that first blue, this dark one, so we can start contouring. So I'm just gonna contour like I would normally contour, except I'm using blue, I guess. So we're gonna do some cleanups, obviously, because that ain't clean. And I'm not sure I want to keep blending with my finger because it seems like it was kind of taking off. So this one, little dry sponge, blend it out. That's not me streaking the paint, that's where some of the paint below it lifted, so we're gonna have to work on the application method because I'm clearly not doing a good job. Although it kind of worked over here, so I don't know. Maybe it's me. Let me dry my brush off a little bit more. The nose is going to be hard. I'm not good at contouring my nose with regular colors. Low-key, maybe? Who knows? It dried faster than I could blend it. This was my first sponge. It's still damp. I just grabbed it, kind of put a little bit of water down. Tried not to use too much of the end with the super light blue because obviously I'm not trying to cover over it. But I do want to kind of, you know, emphasize it in a bit more. Low-key, I think I'm making this worse, but it's fine. We're gonna make it work. So what we're learning is I don't know how to contour my nose. We're gonna come back to the nose because I think it's gonna stress me out if I keep doing that too much. We're gonna take a quick pause on the blue to add another layer. Quick pause on the blue. We're gonna take a quick pause on the contour to add more of the base shade into the chest so that I can set that and start contouring down there because I think that'll help keep things balanced. We're doing it kind of consistently. I'm just doing some soft blending of the contour while I wait for the chest to kind of dry so I can set that with powder. I also realized I didn't contour my temples, so I'm gonna just kind of like dab a little bit of that in there. So I'm kind of just like, I'm using my original sponge with the blue side to add a little bit more moisture. Then I'm taking my dark blue sponge and I'm not adding any more paint or water. I'm just tapping that onto the spot on my face I kind of dampened. And then I'm using the dry sponge to blend. That's really working. So I honestly think I'm gonna come touch up the nose like that right now and see if we can't get this train back on track. Yeah, that really worked. Okay, I'm gonna clean up this in that manner as well. These got a little messy too, don't you think? Yeah. All right, let's set the chest. I mentioned this in the Alphaba video also, but I really started getting into like neck makeup like last year when I went to the Wicked Part 1 movie. I contoured like my face and my chest in green instead of like just painting my whole self. And so every once in a while I remember that it's like a thing you can do and I do it again and I always enjoy it. And then I forget about it until I don't, and I'm like, why don't I do this all the time? I don't know about the painting part. This is a bit much, even for me at times. All right, so this is how I figure out where to contour for like chest and stuff, regardless of what color I'm doing. You're looking for your collarbones, and you kind of want to like do that so they pop out, yeah? And where there's shadows, you want to contour. I'm gonna do a much better job on my lips when it comes time to actually do them, but for now I just need to get some color for variation so I can see what the hell's happening. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm gonna use this color but a brush, kind of like an eyeshadowy brush. That dark blue, I'm gonna just like start to put some brows in because you know me, I need them. They're like my guideline. They may not be staying this color, but they're the color they're gonna be for right now. I'm also going to use this brush and this blue to line the lips better. Yeah, we're definitely getting somewhere. I like it. I think I need to go film like the next section of the transition. This has probably been going for a while, yeah? So I'll be back and then we'll do eyes. Okay, so I've grabbed another sponge and we're going to start doing the concealer section. I'm going to be using this very icy light blue to do that. So I have my dry sponge. I'm going to leave as a dry sponge. And I'm going to wet this one for that concealing. Not wetting the cake this time, just the sponge. Getting a good amount on there. And now I'm going to conceal like I would with concealer. So here's one of the key differences I'm noticing between paint and makeup. You have to be a little bit more intentional about where you place the paint, I feel like. You don't have as much room for blending without losing pigment. I'm just taking the original sponge and going back over the spots where my color lifted up. Oh my god, is this working? It is. It looks cool. And I like it. We're bringing it all together now, kiddos. Oh my god, it's not working. How could so little water cause such a fuss? Okay, maybe I set my product with powder way too early, and that's why they're not blending well together anymore. Because I have to remember it's paint, not makeup. We can't layer it like that. I need to give that a minute. Okay, I want to add a little bit of highlight down here. I know we're running the risk of doing damage, but it's a risk we have to take because we have to have highlights. It's just like how life works. We're done with the paint because at this point I'm frustrating myself. And now I'm going to mix some powders into the equation, I guess. I feel like this calls for a purple blush. Don't ask me why, I just do. I've grabbed the Violets palette by Juvia's. And I feel like this color will be a good blush. Like it's kind of working, but like kind of also not. I kind of like it. It's a little weird, but I'm into it. And I think I want to use some of the dark shade right above it to kind of help these contours. We're getting somewhere. This looks cool as hell. Let's just say it. It looks cool as hell. Just cleaning off the brush so I can do a little bit of that lighter shade again. A little bit more blush to pop against the added depth of that contour. Grabbing a flat kind of foundation brush. I think I want to use this sparkly shade as highlight. Yeah. Yeah. I kind of love that. So what do I want to do for the eye? I don't know. So I definitely want to let me grab the pearls. These have to be in here somewhere. We need lash glue for that. This is the Sephora brand clear eyelash glue. And we're going to use that to do the pearls. So I still want to do them on the ears. I don't know if my ears will be super visible, but they will have accessories, I think, just like here, you know? So I did get like pre-stick pearls from some craft store. They're like scrapbooking pearls. And they have sticky backs on them, but I want them to stay. These gosh darn nails. So, I did these nails, and let's not look at them because they're coming apart, which is kind of okay. Long story, things are annoying. I got one on. Just imagine a bunch. It's gonna look good. This is gonna take forever. Maybe we're not doing this. I want to do this. Tweezers. Figured it out. All right, let me do those 3 on this side if we can. I put on 6, and that was so hard. So, just gonna keep going. Like it's working, but it's like not working, as you can see by the fact that this side in no way, shape, or form matches this side. But we're doing our best. I'm thinking maybe not clustering all the way up. It does look cool though. I gotta do this off camera. I'll be back. Okay, so I didn't go all the way up the ear, but I did add little clusters like on that part. I put my freckle back in because I love it, and then I added some of my collarbone area, and I think that's like a good amount of like something. I was thinking about maybe doing the forehead, but I think if I do my eyes really quickly, and then I can figure out where I want to put more pearls, and then I can paint the rest of my arms and finish all of the projects I've started for myself like a moron. I'm grabbing the About Face fluid eye paint in matte white. I'm gonna do, I kind of want to do maybe like a sky look or something. Maybe I shouldn't go too crazy. Taking some of the white, back of the hand, very small brush. I'm gonna make like a line that I'm gonna turn into like a cloud, I think. I don't know if that's reading as cloud-like yet, but I think we can make it get there. All right, adding more paint, and I think we're gonna do a cloud kind of like in the lid area to help kind of make that visually make more sense. I want to add some pearls. Yeah, I do. I want to add a few. Be right back. So I've added more clusters and then some little singles. And yeah, I think we've got to call it on the pearls, otherwise my whole body will be covered in pearls, and I simply do not have time for that. I don't want to take it too far, but I feel like we've already gone this far. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, is there a too far? Like there definitely is, but like we may be far from it. I don't know. I'm grabbing the Aura palette, Mirame, and I think I'm going to use the white to highlight the inner corner. I kind of think that's it, y'all. I don't think this look needs a lot more. Now that I'm looking at the palette though, I think I want to touch up the brows with the blue a little bit. I think that's going to be a good color match. I'm also realizing now that like I put a lot of paint in my brows, so they kind of like dried funky to my face. So I'm just kind of like breaking the cast, as we say in the curly world. I'm loosening that up a little bit so I get more of that like natural brow look. All right, I'm going to attempt to do lashes. That's also something I'm going to struggle with off the camera, but let me show you what I'm using to do that. I'm gonna be using the House of Lashes Femme Fatale. And I'm gonna do my dang best, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, I added lashes. I also prepped by adding mascara, and I tightlined with black liner. I used the L'Oreal Hydrofuge Voluminous Carbon Black. This is the waterproof one, and the e.l.f. No Budge Retractable Eyeliner in shade black. I feel like the top of the eye is like kind of set. Gotta just figure out what I want to do with the bottom. I feel like I have blue contact lenses, and I feel like I should put those in because I think they would look cool. So, I don't know. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should do that now, and then I can decide if the eye needs more. You know what? Actually, I'm going to tightline. I'm going to... that waterline with white. I think that'll look good. This is the NYX eye pencil in white. Yeah, but I still feel like the under eye needs something. I'm grabbing the ColourPop BFF Volumizing Mascara. This is the shade Purple Prose. I'm going to put that on the bottom and see if that helps. Is it like just not enough compared to the black up top? I don't think that did diddly squat. I'm going to take the holographic About Face, back of the hand, just do some bottom liner with that. I feel like that helped the mascara a bit. Yeah, just that little bit. It helped, I think. Okay, honestly, I kind of think the face is done. I think we just need to do the lip and hair and outfit, and then we should be good to go. I got another one of the fluid eye paints. This is called Blue Monday. I don't know if this is going to be a different enough shade of blue. I'm going to go back in using the same brush with the dark blue paint and just line my lips again. Okay. I feel like we just need a little bit of that lighter shade, the lightest shade, to back up in the center. Whoa, no, not that. I feel like the more I stress about it, the worse it's gonna get. So, I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna make the lip look like a lip using the Jack Black Shea Butter and Vitamin E lip balm. I'm just gonna put some on the back of my hand and dab that on. So I don't really have just like a clear gloss. Yeah, something like that. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands, do the contacts and the hair, and I'll check back in. Okay, so I have officially finished hair and makeup. I have this like funky top with like these pearl accents on it, you know, to tie some of this stuff in. I did do the blue contacts. They are annoying. And I just like braided the hair. It doesn't look good from the back, but I also didn't paint the back, so we're not photographing the back. Okay, I think this came out pretty cool. I'm gonna go film the transitions and photograph this, and thanks for joining me, you guys. Till next time. Bye.